let's move on from there. Let's stay in the Magic though. There's another big man who has some rumors, and we talked a little about the Celtics before, and this is definitely a guy I've got my eye on. Nikola Vucevic, as someone who's been floated out there. Obviously, like I was saying, the Orlando Magic, they're not doing that well this season. They've made the playoffs the last couple of years, but it looks like they're falling out now. They've had a lot of injuries. This looks like a good draft class, so let's cash out on Vucevic while we can, while he's playing well, and get the maximum amount of value back. I'll throw out my Celtics there. We've obviously been rumored, very heavily with this for a little while. I think with the trade exception, we are going to look to make a splash at the trade deadline. And for me personally, this is the number one target for us. I think this is, if we can get any player that is potentially available, for me it'd be this guy. I think this would be the perfect fit for my Celtics. What are your thoughts for Vucevic, Cap?
I want to see him traded. I think he's the leading points leader in Magic history, which is pretty wild to think about. Yeah, it is a bit sad, isn't it? Because it hasn't really come with much success. It's come with a few 8th and 7th seeds in the playoffs, and that's about it.
Shaquille O'Neal was on that team. Like, let's not forget.
Yeah. Well, Vucevic has outdone him.
Yeah, he's been there longer, so I guess that's what comes with it.
Yeah, exactly. And look, he's putting up 24, 11, 3 assists, a steal a game, shooting a good 48%. He can stretch the court. He's hitting 2.5 threes a game. So he's a great shooter. He can pretty much do it all. His only weakness really is he's not the best defender. He is a big body. The one thing you could say is, let's say you got the Celtics matching up against the 76ers. Can you trust Vucevic guarding Joel Embiid in that series?
He's obviously not the best defensive big, but he's not horrible. Like, he's still a decent defender. I mean, he is a bigger guy. Conversely, he's a guy that can shoot, and on the other end of the court, it will drag Joel Embiid out. So I think for me, that's a worthwhile thing to invest. And you've always got guys like Tristan Thompson or these big bodies that you could throw at Joel Embiid and obviously double teams and things like that. So for me, as a Celtics fan, I'd be definitely willing to do that. I'll throw a trade your way. Now, obviously, we've got this trade exception, so we can afford to throw some cheaper guys. The salaries don't have to match up very well. But what if I threw a first-round pick, Robert Williams, Aaron Nesmith, and someone like Romeo Langford or something like that? So a lot of young guys and a first-round pick. Do you think that does it for the Orlando Magic? Do you think they can get something better elsewhere?
I think for Vucevic, you could get 2 firsts somewhere else.
Yeah, really? Okay.
Because he is pretty much an all-star.
Yeah,
maybe I guess the Robert Williams is the
who else,
one of the
who else
the
is
young
going to
pieces.
give up? Who else is going to give up 2 firsts that need a center? Like, who else is going to do that?
It's a good question.
Yeah, like in a contending team, the only other team I can think of is something like the Toronto Raptors potentially. Maybe it is Milwaukee. If they're not too sold on Brook Lopez. There's a lot of good centers around the league.
What about Dallas? I don't know. Dallas, their center position. They've always been rumored. They love the Europeans.
Yeah,
they've always wanted to get Vucevic.
But they love white guys, that's for sure. Look, the tandem of him and Porzingis could be lethal. The Spurs could be another one. Look, I'm looking at the standings right now. I'm surprised to see they're sitting in the 6th seed right now. So they're obviously trying to get into the playoffs. That could be something. But again, I don't know what they're gonna send over. They don't really have the young guys that the Celtics can.
Well, they've got the guard, so you could throw in one of the Derek Whites of the world.
I don't know if the Spurs do that. I don't know if they want to do that. I think they like Derek White. They just re-signed him. Look, I think in terms of the young players, I think Celtics have more to offer. I think, look, I'm really high on Robert Williams. I think he's earning some respect around the league. For some reason, I don't think the Orlando Magic believe in Mo Bamba. We haven't really seen him much at all since they drafted him.
Yeah, apparently he got hit pretty bad with COVID.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe you haven't seen it because Vucevic is there, but I don't know. Maybe this is a chance to sort of decide between 2 athletic big guys, between him and Williams, if you make that trade. Have you heard any other rumors out there for Vucevic?
Well, look, I've made one trade, so I'll throw this one at you. It's a New Orleans trade.
Oh, okay.
I think that he could work with Zion just because, once again, you need Zion in the paint to work. Vucevic, he can pick and pop, he can do it all. So let's do a Vucevic and Terrence Ross
Okay.
for Steven Adams, Eric Bledsoe, and then at least one first rounder as well from New Orleans.
Yeah.
So then
see,
obviously the Magic get the point guard they need. They need a point guard. They get Eric Bledsoe. They
Yep.
also get Steven Adams because the salary match with Steven Adams and Vucevic is pretty on par because Steven Adams is making like 28 million. It's way too much money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can just pretty much trade that in. And then in the trade, New Orleans also gets a good spark plug off the bench. Terrence Ross, 3-point shooter, can go with Zion, can go with Brandon Ingram. They get off Eric Bledsoe, which is their goal. They can give more of the ball to Lonzo. And share it with that point guard duty. So I think that's a good win-win for both teams.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they have so many assets. They have all the Lakers first rounds. They get to give some of the Lakers picks, whatever, throw it in.
Oh, true. They could use, like, if it's a Lakers first rounder, that makes it more enticing for the Pelicans, I believe, because obviously they're not doing too well and they're going to finish towards the bottom of the ladder in the West. I believe. I think.
They could put in like 2 Lakers first rounders. Like, just do that. Keep your own picks. Get a good asset that can work with your team.
I did, like, if that's the case, I probably would do that if I'm New Orleans. I think potentially you could. I don't know. Like, do you like that offer better than what I was saying before with the Celtics? Like, in terms of getting back for Orlando.
If you can get 2 first rounders out of it, then yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you think that extra first round pick is the difference maker there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I see. If I'm Danny Ainge, if push comes to shove, I might even do that because obviously our first round picks are whatever at this stage. And if they're the Lakers first round picks that you're competing against, I would just do it. So yeah, I don't know. Interesting. It's a good trade. I think it's something to think about, and definitely sort of it's a difficult question because I'm not sure exactly what the league values Vucevic. I also think he's a great player. I think he does command some trade value, but there are a lot of big men available in the league. So potentially some teams might just say, "Nah, stuff ya. We'll go get someone else that doesn't cost as much and get nearly the value that Vucevic provides us."